Hi all, good day. Welcome to VSPARKZ. Today we are going to see Google Cloud SSO Federation using third-party identity providers. We are going to see a demo as well. If you like this video, please subscribe to VSPARKZ channel and click the bell icon for the latest updates. This is the agenda of this video. We are going to discuss on these topics in this video. What is SSO? SSO stands for Single Sign-On. SSO allows a single authentication to access different services within a single enterprise. You log in once and access many applications of the same enterprise. For example, think of a bank account. You log in once to access your bank account, such as your savings account, investments accounts, insurance, etc. etc. But in reality, these accounts are all separate from each other. Drawback of this method is that you cannot access any another bank account, that is a different organization, using the same identity. You need to create another identity and remember its username and credentials for the same to access the other bank accounts. So this is the major drawback of this single sign-on. Whereas a federated identity management provides a single access to multiple systems across different enterprise organizations. In other words, FIM, that is Federated Identity Management, is the means of linking a user's identity across multiple distinct systems. Consider the below picture. A user's single authentication token or ticket is trusted across multiple organizations. Here, with only one identity, user is federated to multiple organizations. So if you take in this case, the organizations are Google and Microsoft. Once you are authenticated in Google, with the help of SSO, you can access Google Cloud, you can access Gmail, you can access Google Drives, etc. etc. within that single organization. But in the earlier SSO bank case, users can access only one organization and its applications. But here in this federation case, with one user identity and access management, we can access multiple organizations. Okay, that is the baseline. So basically, SSO is a subset of federated identity management. These are the service providers for SSO and Federation. So let me clarify you who is an identity provider and who is a service provider. The one who does the federation is called as identity provider. The product which you are going to use after federation is called as service provider. In our demo, Auth0 is the identity provider and Google is our service provider. Here in this slide, we have got two types of identity providers. Google's native identity provider and the second case is third-party identity providers. Google itself is providing an identity provider. If we use Google native identity provider for our federation, then the identity provider and the service provider both are Google. These are the prerequisites that we should do before federating to Google Cloud Platform. First one is you should register your organizational domain in Cloud Identity or G Suite account. In our case, the organizational domain name is vsparkz.com. Second is we should sync your user identities from your on-premises Active Directory to Google organizational account using GCDS. GCDS stands for Google Cloud Directory Sync. If you don't know how to do these things, please refer to the previous videos on how to register your organizational domain and how to sync the user identities. Both are discussed in a separate videos. The third thing is you should set up your Cloud IAM with the necessary permissions and roles. So this is the architecture of SSO Federation using Auth0 to Google Cloud Platform. Here Auth0 as an IDP is linked to the on-premises Active Directory using Auth0 AD connector. Before Federation, you have to set up the prerequisites. Few are, you need to sync your on-premises users to Google Cloud Organizationals or Google Cloud Admin Console. Provide proper Cloud IAM permissions to the users or groups in the Google Cloud platform. Actual flow of the Federation is given here. Okay. First, the user tries to log into Google Cloud platform. That is our first step. So the second step, what Google will do is Google generates the SAML request and redirects the concerned user to the IDP. That is the second step. For this, you have to set up the SSO settings in the admin console here. Third step, IDP parses SAML request and authenticates the user. After authentication, the IDP generates the SAML response and redirects to the browser. That is our fourth step. So now this browser sends the SAML response to the ACS URL of Google. ACS URL is nothing but our callback URL. So after verification, Google will allow the concerned user to log into the Google Cloud platform with the concerned user permissions. This is the full flow. Now it's quiz time. Please answer this quiz by clicking your right top corner of your screen, and your question is SSO and Federation are same? And your options are yes or no. Answer is disclosed in the next slide. Before seeing the answer, please answer this quiz. The answer is no. SSO and Federation both are different pillars. These are the things that we are going to do in this demo. The step 1, we are going to log into the admin console and GCP console as a super admin. Just open a browser and then type console.cloud.google.com and enter your super admin credentials and username. Now I have logged into Google Cloud Platforms console. Similarly, try to log into the admin console with the same super user. Now once you log into GCP console, just check your directory structure. So this is my directory structure and I have logged into project-1. So this is my Google admin console. Now step 2, I'm going to sync user identities from on-prem AD to Google admin console and assign IAM permissions. So this step is already done. So if you don't know how to do this, please refer to the previous videos. We can cross check the same. This is my on-prem AD machine. Here you can see VSPARKZ.com is my tenant, and beneath the tenant you have a OU called retail. Beneath that I have two sub OUs, project 1 and project 2. Within project 1 I have group 1 and user number 1. So within that group 1, user number 1 is a member. Similarly, we have group 2 and user 2 in project number 2. So all those users and the organizational identities has been synced to Google admin, and we can cross check the same. Here you can see the OUs called retail, project 1 and project 2. All those things are synced up already. Similarly, you can cross check for groups and users. So these users are super admins, admin and administrator. So now I'm going to assign Cloud IAM permissions to my groups or users. So here I have assigned viewer role to my group 1. So this role is assigned under project 1 only. So the members of group 1 cannot access the other projects of GCP. Now step 3, log into Auth0 and configure on-premises AD connector. Go to auth0.com and you need to sign up for this Auth0. I have already signed up, so I'm logging in. So this Auth0 account is a free user account. and you can use this account for up to 50 user identities. It's totally free, up to 50. So this is my Auth0 console. Now we are going to set up the on-premises Active Directory connector. Okay, here just click create connection. Just give a name here in the connection name, and you have to place your IDP domain, which is VSPARKZ.com in our case. So once it is created, copy the ticket URL. And also download the agent of AD connector. So I have downloaded it, and you need to run this connector, and you need to install this connector in your on-premises Active Directory machine. So this is my AD machine. So I'm going to run that particular connector software within that machine. Now the installation is started. It will take some time for the installation. Now it is starting the services after the installation. Once the installation is done, it will open up a web page where you need to give the ticket URL which you have taken from the Auth0. So this is my ticket URL which I have copied. Just paste this ticket URL in the web page, and once you say continue, some parameters will be automatically popped up, and here you need to give the username and the password of the on-premises Active Directory administrator. In our case it is VSPARKZ/administrator. So once you click save, the on-premises AD should be synced with Auth0, and you can get the status in this page itself. Yeah, here if you scroll down, you can see the status. All the things are okay, which means our AD is successfully synced to Auth0. Now we are going to set up SSO Federation. That is going to be our step 4. So just open up the Auth0 console. Within the Auth0 console also you can check the status of your AD, which is online. Now to set up SSO Federation, we are going to create an application here. Give a name for your application. I am giving test Google Cloud SSO, and pick regular web applications. Click create. Now we are going to enable the protocol for this SSO Federation, which is SAML 2.0 in our case, that is available under add-ons column. So here you have to give your callback URL, which is this one, www.google.com/a/your-domain/ACS. ACS stands for application callback URLs. Before proceeding for SAML settings, we should know what Google is expecting from the IDPs. Here in this URL link, you can see Google is expecting something called as name ID, that is name identifier, from the IDPs. So this is our name identifier. So this is the same thing only Google is expecting, but the name identifier should be an email ID or a username. So in our case, I am going to set it up as email. So here I am uncommenting that particular script for email. So I am going to send the user email as a name identifier to GCP. So once this is done, we need a certificate from Auth0, because Google has to trust Auth0, right? So for that we need this certificate. I have downloaded that particular certificate. Now I am going to enable the on-premises AD connectivity for this particular application. Only if you enable the authentication, I mean the user authentication happens using the Active Directory username and password. So at last we need the SAML login URL from here. That will be available under advanced settings. Under endpoints, you can see SAML protocol URL. This thing you need to copy. And then go back to Google Admin Console. Under security, open the security settings. Scroll down a bit and you can see set up single sign-on with a third-party IDP. So this third-party IDP is our Auth0. Just click this. Just enable this one. In the sign-in page URL, you have to paste the SAML URL which you have copied from Auth0. In the sign out page URL, you paste the Google Cloud URL. Here you have to import the certificate which you have downloaded from Auth0's application. Yeah, VSPARKZ.pem, that is our certificate. Certificate is replaced now. Yeah, all our settings are saved. So now it's time to test the SSO Federation to GCP using Auth0. That is going to be our step 5. So just open a new incognito window. So now I'm going to log into Google Cloud as a user number 1. Just type the email ID of user1@vsparkz.com and the control has to be handed over to Auth0's application, because authentication should happen in Auth0. Yeah, you can see the Auth0 application opens up. Here you have to paste your email ID. Once you press login, in the next window you have to give your username. You should not give the email ID here. And here you have to give your password which you have used in your on-premises. So now you can see you are automatically redirected to Google Cloud Platforms console. So since this is the first time, this window will appear. So just check what are all the accesses he has. He has access to see only project number 1. Also, you don't have any permission to create any resources. Instead, he can view all the resources within project number 1. That's it. Our testing is successful. This is the summary of this video which we have discussed for the past few minutes. Thank you from VSPARKZ and thank you for watching this video.